It's time once again for Recess with Nero. Welcome back to all of you guys returning to us, and to those of you joining us for the first time, just welcome. Really happy to see you here, and I hope you're happy with what you see on the other side of things. Today we're going to talk about, yep, you guessed it, being easily amused. Why I think it's important, and hopefully by the end, why you'll think it's important too. We're going to do a little anecdotal fun with some story time. Then I'm going to give you some exciting news about the channel, and then unfortunately it will be time to return to your regularly scheduled reality. So, without further ado, let's jump kind of right into this thing. Being easily amused may be a little bit under some misunderstanding to a lot of you guys. What I mean when I say it is sometimes you have to seek out your own amusement. You don't want to force it, but sometimes it just takes a little bit harder look into some places that some people might miss. So, there's joy out there, you just gotta find it. That's the long and the short of it, folks. Speaking of joy, I'd like to give a little bit of a shout out if you're watching this when it does come out. Mother's Day coming up right around the corner, May 12th in the US of A. Big shout out to all the moms out there. You help a lot of us find joy, you bring joy, you make joy into so many of our lives. To my mom in particular, love you, Ma. Thank you for everything that you've always done for me to give me joy and to help me spread joy to others. All right, enough of the sappy stuff. Now, let me tell you about one of my best days ever. Now, this is a recent occurrence, and I hope it happens frequently for you because it tends to happen frequently for me. If it doesn't, then maybe you just have to look a little bit harder and make some of those the best days ever. All right, so I'm driving to work the other day. I see a big flatbed trailer truck. Completely empty, mind you. Empty except on the back of it, two mini all-terrain vehicles. That's right, two little quads, ATVs, whatever you want to call them, strapped to the back of this completely industrial work-type truck. Now that guy knows how to find the fun. I assume, or only can hope, that he was headed out someplace, maybe take his kids out on the dunes, whatever. I just thought it was really cool to see little ATVs strapped to the back of a flatbed. So that made me smile automatically before I even started my day, really. Now, I technically have a side hustle and a main job. So, I drove out, started getting the side hustle on. I deliver for one of those peer-to-peer kind of share things. It's not important which one, but doing that delivery, I had always assumed, because I do it in the local area of my real job, that I would run into a customer and then have a little bit of a laugh with them about, oh, hey, how was your food, that kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. No, even better, this particular day, it happened to one of my coworkers. I ended up not realizing that it was her brother that ordered the food. I show up, I see her car in the driveway, start laughing intensely inwardly to myself. Drop off the food, think nothing of it, come back into work, really kind of embarrassed myself trying to get the reveal on this girl and show her that, you know, hey, funny thing happened, I delivered food to your house. It was kind of weird, but it still made both of us smile, so I moved on from it, took the joy, left the embarrassment. A little bit later on, when I was actually working the real job, everyone likes a compliment, though if you're like me, you don't deal with them intensely well. However, it was still very nice to see. Just doing my job, started ringing up a customer who happens to walk by but my store manager. As he's walking by, she flags him down and says, "You're a manager, right?" "Yes, I am the manager." "Well, I tell you what, this guy right here is just doing a great job," so on and so forth. I won't fill you up with the accolades that she attempted to give me, and I would have immediately shuffled off, given an instant's opportunity. But, again, still took it as a win, made me feel really good. Carrying on through the day, it was a great day, work-wise, home-wise, everything was awesome. Forgot to mention that it was May the 4th. Super nerd in me really had to live that out, so I was sporting my Star Wars colors during the beginning of the day. Had to change into my work uniform, of course, but really felt, I don't know, let's not call it the Force, but something was definitely with me this day. Further proof, if I needed any, came from the thing that happened before I even got to work, which I almost forgot to tell you about. the best part of my day, driving into my parking lot, see one of the cleanest, coolest looking hot rods I think I have ever seen. Slow down to take a peek at it. The people are outside it, showing it off, got some onlookers and some things going on, so I just continue driving. However, my curiosity is piqued. I have to go over. In other instances, I can be a little bit shy. I don't like confrontations. This was a weird one for me. However, I really wanted to get a picture of this car. So I steeled myself, swelled up all the bravery I could muster, and walked up and asked these people if I could get a picture. They could not have been nicer, offered to take a picture of me with the car. Now, the pièce de résistance of this hot rod. It had a beer tap in the trunk, people! Can you believe that? I am not going to be the one that endorses or even confronts the factor of drinking and driving with this whole setup. I'm going to assume it's a perfectly safe and sound tailgating rig. For the sake of the story and for the sake of keeping this gentleman above board, that's what we're going with. Now, if you want to see those pictures, I'm afraid I'm going to have to tease you a little bit. You got to go over to my Instagram at Recess with Nero. Those pictures are well worth it. It'll take you 5 seconds. Come on, check it out. There's a lot of other cool stuff that you can see while you're over there, so hopefully you stick around, maybe throw me a follow, whatever. I had such a great time with that. Unfortunately, it turned out the beer mugs that he had set up that looked super frosty, head right up to the top, were fake. They were plastic. He did let me hold one, which was very strange for me, considering I haven't drank any alcohol in about 4.5 years. Long story, let's not get into it. But I had to look cool sitting in front of the beer tap mobile, right? So of course, I held the beer, and a lot of you may be wondering this. It crossed my mind, are the beer taps real? I'm not going to question that any further. For the sake of my story, and for the sake of it just being part of the coolest thing I've ever seen, the taps have to be real, guys. Alright, well, that about does it for my story here. So I hope it gave you as much joy as it did me. I know they're silly little things, but that was how I found an immense amount of happiness and really injected it into my day. So it helped me out a lot. Now, exciting news, as I promised you. We have made it over 100 views, people. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody who made this possible, everybody who continues to watch. Keep driving that number up. I really, really appreciate it. It tells me that you're enjoying what I'm putting out there, that you're excited to see some more things, and I really hope that you stick in there with me, and we can keep growing this, keep doing it, keep finding the fun together. That being said, if you like what you're seeing, pop it on the like button. If you want to see more, throw me that subscribe, let me know that you're enjoying it, and encourage me to keep making ridiculous videos such as this one. Please, please, please continue sending me your guidance and wisdom through the comments. That is the best way for me to know what you think, and even if you don't really like it, give me some constructive criticism. If you gotta throw a little shade, maybe talk a little smack, that's alright, I can handle it, I'm a big boy. We'll make it through, and that helps me to make the improvements that make this channel better for everyone. So thank you again so much for watching, and I really, really appreciate it. Now, last little thing I wanted to talk about, I did tease to a hot sauce video coming soon. If you made it to the end of my last ramble, that video is still in production. I promise, promise, promise. Hot sauce is very close to my heart, so I just want to make sure it's the best that it can be before we let it out there. But it is coming. So, hang tight, you'll get to see the hot sauce video, I promise. Without anything else, I'm going to let you get back to it. And remember, it's going to be a great day because we freaking said so. Got more videos on the channel. Got an easy way to subscribe. Let me know you're liking what you see. And if not, just have a great day.